It's bad. It's getting worse by the second. Lin Dunn, I told you guys, Lin Dunn has come out and let it be known she is clearly a part of the Caitlin Clark sabotage that is permeating throughout the entire Indiana Fever organization. She has her mouthpiece saying everything she wants for her publicly. This is nasty what's going on. Caitlin Clark needs to get the hell out of there as quickly as possible.
A growing sense of tension is taking over Indiana, and it's becoming harder to ignore with each passing day. What once seemed like a united organization now appears to be dealing with serious internal problems. As leadership comes under pressure and trust begins to break down, even the team's biggest star is starting to question the people and decisions around her. The biggest question now is whether this is simply a basketball issue or a much deeper conflict unfolding behind the scenes that could change the future of the Indiana Fever.
Lin Dunn has exposed herself. Lin Dunn is using Dan Dakich as her mouthpiece and as her voice to get her message out to the public when it comes to Caitlin.
What unfolds next goes far beyond simple frustration. It points to a network of influence, long-standing relationships, and behind-the-scenes dynamics that may be shaping the conversation. The suggestion is that these public comments are not isolated opinions but part of a broader narrative built through years of professional connections and trusted access. In professional sports, relationships often carry significant influence. However, when those connections appear to affect how a franchise player like Caitlin Clark is perceived, the situation becomes much more important. Clark is more than a rising rookie. She has become a driving force behind the league's growing popularity, television ratings, and future success. So when people closely connected to the organization seem to deliver similar messages, it naturally raises questions. Is an internal conflict beginning to spill into the public eye, or are existing media relationships helping shape that perception? This is no longer just a debate over opinions. It is a discussion about influence, public narrative, and the power those narratives have to shape the future of both a player and an entire franchise. And as more details emerge, this story appears to be far from over.
A little bit different. Not a system. The system is great. Like, I don't get this shit off of a bathroom wall and take a piss and say, you know what? Caitlin Clark's a diva. I talk to people inside the organization.
I talk to people inside the organization. We know you have over a decade-long relationship with Lin Dunn. We know that. We know that y'all tight. You just confirmed it on social media. Love, Coach.
The story now takes a more serious turn as the focus shifts to claims of insider knowledge and alleged confirmation from within the organization. With the Indiana Fever becoming one of the league's biggest attractions, any suggestion that internal voices are influencing public perception instantly draws attention. Caitlin Clark has transformed the franchise into one of the WNBA's most watched teams, bringing unprecedented visibility and constant media focus. But with greater attention comes greater scrutiny, and every comment is analyzed from multiple angles. What makes this situation stand out is the growing belief that the public conversation may be driven by more than simple speculation. If that perception is accurate, it raises an important question. Are these narratives being shaped by coordinated messaging, or are they simply emotional reactions during a challenging period of adjustment? Throughout it all, Clark has continued to perform under intense pressure while remaining one of the league's biggest attractions. However, when a narrative begins to take hold around a young superstar, it can influence not only public opinion but also the atmosphere inside the team. At that point, the discussion extends beyond basketball and becomes a story about who controls the narrative and how perception can shape the future of a franchise.
Nobody wants anything to do with Caitlin Clark and this organization. This is Lin Dunn talking to you. No, none of us want anything to do with Caitlin Clark and this organization. She's a menace. She's this. She's that. This is Lin Dunn talking to you. Pay attention.
That Stephanie White isn't setting the entire offensive system up, which she 1,000% has. But it doesn't mean others don't play. It doesn't mean others can't thrive. It doesn't mean others can't fill a role.
Caitlin Clark's influence on the WNBA has been impossible to overlook, and her transition to the professional game has been closely examined from the very beginning. Every coaching decision, lineup change, and tactical adjustment involving her has been dissected by fans and analysts alike. But the biggest issue is no longer just about her on-court performance. It is about whether the team system is truly built to maximize the talents of a generational player or if growing pains are creating friction behind the scenes. Clark is no stranger to adversity. Since entering the league, she has dealt with physical defenses, relentless media attention, and enormous expectations while continuing to attract record-breaking audiences and raise the Indiana Fever's national profile. The question now is whether the pressure surrounding the narrative will begin to affect basketball decisions, or if the organization can regain stability before outside perception grows into a deeper and more lasting divide.
Just know that. Just know that. He also went on to say Stephanie White's one of the brilliant, the smartest people ever in basketball, all while saying, oh, well, Caitlin Clark hasn't won anything. Stephanie White has never won anything. She's clinging on to being an assistant for a championship team. She ain't never won nothing. At Vanderbilt, she was awful. So many players quit. They had to cancel the damn season. She was that trash.
At the heart of this controversy is a debate that has shaped both the NBA and WNBA for years. The balance between a team system and a superstar's talent. Whenever a franchise is built around a generational player, every coaching decision and strategic adjustment is viewed as evidence of whether that partnership is succeeding or failing. Caitlin Clark has transformed the Indiana Fever, driving higher attendance, stronger television ratings, and unprecedented national attention. That level of influence remains significant even as the team works through the challenges of a transition period. The real complication is how quickly public opinion can shift from supporting player development to delivering harsh judgment. When a team performs well, the system earns the praise. But when chemistry is still developing, criticism often falls on the most recognizable player. History has shown that even the greatest stars needed time to adapt before leading consistent championship-level teams. The real issue, then, is not whether Clark can thrive in this environment, but whether the organization will be given enough time to build the right system around her before opinions become permanent. In today's non-stop media landscape, patience is often the first thing to disappear.
Don't be fooled. This is Lin Dunn in the Indiana Fever front office's mouthpiece. They are talking to you about Caitlin Clark directly and letting it be known what they truly feel about her. She's a diva, she's a menace, she hasn't won, we're better without her, all of this stuff.
This is the moment where the story reaches its highest level of tension. As conversations surrounding the franchise begin to include speculation about a potential departure, it reflects just how emotional and divided the public discussion has become. Yet in professional sports, public narratives often move much faster than the reality inside an organization. Disagreements, criticism, and media speculation can quickly create the impression of a crisis, even while a team continues working through its challenges behind the scenes. For Caitlin Clark, every moment is amplified under the spotlight. Her victories, struggles, and every headline surrounding her receive extraordinary attention. What remains undeniable, however, is her impact on the WNBA. She continues to be one of the league's biggest attractions, drawing larger crowds, increased television audiences, and nationwide interest wherever she plays. The Indiana Fever now face an important challenge: building a stable foundation around a generational talent while preventing outside narratives from shaping the team's future. The biggest question still has no clear answer. Is Indiana truly facing a major internal turning point? Or is this simply another stage in the natural growing process of building a championship-caliber team around Caitlin Clark? What is happening around the Fever today has become far more than a debate among fans, media personalities, and online commentators. It has evolved into one of the defining storylines surrounding the future of the franchise and the league itself. This situation highlights how rapidly public narratives can grow when a franchise is under the brightest spotlight in women's basketball. At the center of that attention is Caitlin Clark, whose arrival has dramatically increased the WNBA's visibility, commercial appeal, and fan engagement in a way few rookies have ever accomplished. With that level of recognition comes constant pressure, not only to perform on the court but also to lead through every challenge while facing non-stop public scrutiny. Expectations are shaped not just by results but also by opinions and commentary that often spread faster than confirmed information. Within any professional team, debates over coaching strategies, player roles, and roster development are a normal part of rebuilding. As a team works to establish its identity, chemistry, and consistency, disagreements are bound to happen. The challenge arises when those internal discussions begin to influence the public conversation, creating a cycle where perception fuels emotion and emotion, in turn, shapes how every event is interpreted. That is how stories like this gather momentum. They often grow not only through verified facts but also through assumptions, repeated speculation, and narratives that spread rapidly across media and social platforms. Amid all the speculation, one fact should not be overlooked. Basketball at the highest level is rarely as straightforward as it appears. Coaches make decisions based on strategy, matchups, player conditioning, and long-term team development, while players must adapt to a faster pace, greater physicality, and changing roles as they settle into a new environment. Front offices face the difficult task of balancing future growth with the pressure to win immediately, especially when a generational talent like Caitlin Clark brings unprecedented attention to the franchise almost overnight. In that kind of environment, misunderstandings or differing opinions can easily be viewed as major conflicts, even when everyone is working toward the same objective of building a successful team. Clark's impact ensures that every lineup change, every defeat, and every adjustment is examined on a national stage, placing enormous pressure on the entire organization. At the same time, it is essential to distinguish emotional reactions from confirmed facts. Professional sports organizations are complex, with many perspectives and competing priorities influencing decisions behind the scenes. As fans and observers, it's important to look beyond the headlines, question the narratives being presented, and remember that speculation can often spread much faster than the evidence supporting it. The Indiana Fever story is still unfolding, and early challenges do not always determine a team's future. Throughout sports history, many championship-caliber teams have experienced difficult adjustment periods before developing the chemistry and stability needed for long-term success. Whether this moment becomes a defining turning point or simply another step in the team's growth will depend on what happens in the games ahead, inside the locker room, and in how the organization responds to mounting outside pressure. One thing, however, is beyond dispute. The spotlight on Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever is only growing stronger. Every decision, every performance, and every new development will continue to attract national attention, making this a story that extends far beyond the outcome of any single game or headline.